Let's do a quick energy update about December. Something surprised me recently. I shared with my online community. We had a recent Q&A, and somebody asked this question about Christmas, and they said, what's the real deal with Christmas? And is it really inverted, as in part of the false matrix? What's the truth about Christmas? And I thought, well, everybody knows this, so I'll just kind of share the briefest version of it, which I did, and I was very surprised to find out how surprised most people were. So I'm going to share the story of Christmas, at least the real version of Christmas, with you guys as we do our December energy update. December, this one, is unlike any December that's come before, because traditionally we've been set up, and that's why I'm going to weave the story of Christmas into this one. We've been set up to give ourselves away in December, to the needs of others, to the expectations of others, to the demands of others, to being liked, to the external world, to consumerism. December is traditionally and generally, for most human beings, the last time where you would ever really be with yourself, connect with yourself. It's the first time where you'll betray yourself, where you'll martyr yourself. And there is that inverted story of Christ consciousness. Christ is a being of love. Christ is a being of divinity. And yet, as is everything in the false matrix, it is presented to us, a truth is presented to us as a lie, presented as something distorted. And so we get these biblical stories that make sense but don't make sense, sound beautiful but something's off about it. That's the story of the false matrix. There had to be truths. There had to be truths, otherwise we would see right through it, interwoven into a very big lie. And there had to be a theme to that lie to harness humanity. And in a recent video, I spoke about martyrdom and money. And you can watch that video on my channel. Just type in Kerry K, money and martyrdom, I think is the name of the video, where I touch on that a little bit. Let's go deeper into it now and talk about the story of Christmas. What happens at Christmas? Oh, and by the way, the story is much bigger than what I'm going to share here. Let me know in the comments below if I need to go deeper. I don't think so. Let me just give you the brief version, okay? So what happens at Christmas? Santa comes down the chimney. What is Christmas really about? And why is that an inversion? Okay. Your body, I've said this before many times, is an alchemical device. It's an ascension vehicle. Think about that. Your brain doesn't know how to do what your body does, which is ascend, which is transfigure. This is alchemy at the highest form. This is not alchemy of consciousness. This is physical alchemy that only the body can do. The mind cannot. The brain, no matter how intellectual it is, it can't do this. The body is the seat of wisdom that allows for alchemy to transpire, and that is to shift from a third to a fifth dimensional being. That is a transfiguration of density from a more carbon-based being to a less carbon-based, more crystalline being. We call this a lighter-bodied version of ourselves, and we understand this as ascension. There's a whole playlist on my channel that is going to cover ascension for you. In the story of Christmas, the descending, the coming down the chimney, is symbolic of shutting down, stuffing down, suppressing what is actually meant to be rising, which is you. There is part of the mechanics of this phenomenal vehicle that you have, this phenomenal alchemical technology that is your body, and it's a natural technology, of course, that is your body. Part of its magic is that every month, more or less every 25 to 28 days, your body secretes a holy oil, and it's called the Chrism. Chrism. Why does that sound familiar? Christ consciousness. Christ and the holy oil, anointings. Wait a minute, this is a familiar story. You are the second coming of Christ because your body secretes an oil, making you able to shift into Christ consciousness. So the false matrix had to prevent that. The false matrix had to shut that the hell down. shove it down just like Santa Claus coming down the chimney. But your body every month does this amazing thing that it creates this godly oil. Now, if it can rise up the Jacob's ladder, the vertebra, the 33 stairs to heaven, this is the spinal column. If that oil can rise up the spinal column, what it's going to do is give you a Kundalini awakening, because what would happen is every single chakric point, kind of like dominoes, but instead of dominoes being kind of as we would imagine them to be, one knocking the other down, this would be a domino effect on the chakric column, the spinal column, from the bottom up. If that chrism, that holy oil, was allowed to rise. So what prevents it from rising? Well, not just in December, but every single month of the year, we are programmed. And those programs prevent the chrism from rising. We're programmed to judgment. We're programmed to judgment of self and others, by the way. We're programmed by the false matrix to limit ourselves, to believe in our smallness, to believe and defend addictions and divisions and all of the things that we are not. And every time we engage in behavior that is dishonoring to self, we become Santa Claus coming down the chimney, in the sense that we suppress that chrism from rising, that holy oil. So that holy oil, think of it as a lubricant at the energetic level that lubricates and unlocks the entire chakric column all the way up here to the middle of the brain, where we get the pineal and the pituitary gland that work in harmony. They really represent the holy union of male and female. And then, of course, the holy union of the divine masculine and divine feminine produce a holy offspring called the divine child. And that divine child is your own higher consciousness. And that oil, that chrism that rises up the spinal column, allows for that birth to happen. This is where people suddenly get enlightened, suddenly have an epiphany, experience a Kundalini awakening. It can be, for most people, a very disconcerting experience when this happens, and some people even feel like they're going mad, and some people even go on medication at this time to shut down everything that is opening up when that chrism rises. Now, we have this particular window in December. It's a cosmic alignment where the chrism rises the strongest in December of our year. And I am aware, and I know people in the comments are going to say this, yeah, but the calendar is fictitious, and it's okay. We still work in a circadian rhythm. We still work in cycles. And at the time that we call December, in that cyclical period, the chrism is strongest. And we have a cosmic alignment that allows for more people in December than any other month to have Kundalini awakenings, epiphanies, and bliss experiences, and enlightenments, and personal ascension journeys. So, of course, we've got to get Santa Claus to come down. Santa Claus is the Antichrist, the anti-chrism, to come down the chimney. Now, am I saying Christmas is bad? No, I buy my kids Christmas presents. I was Christmas shopping recently. It's a time of love, though, and I'm not going to get lost in the consumerism. So please don't take this literally like, oh my gosh, I've now got to unplug from Christmas and phone my family. Sorry, guys, I'm not coming for Christmas dinner. You just have to see through it, and the spell is broken. You don't have to boycott anything. You don't have to please don't fight against anything, because you know what you fight against, you feed. Please remember that. This is for you just to see, oh, whoa. Okay, that means, therefore, that Kerry had method in her madness when, in December, I created the theme every month. My online community has a theme, and guess what our December theme is? It's make space for you. Space for you. Because why? In December, this is where everyone gets lost, and this is where life becomes about everything else. And people tend to say, oh, I'll deal with that in January. Because they know that they're so lost in December. They're so disengaged and disconnected from themselves, and so engaged in the consumerism, and so engaged in what everybody else wants them to be, that they're not centered, grounded, connected, where they can be truly potent and powerful. So can you see what December's calling you to do, and why this theme of make space for you is so relevant, not only because it's December, the time of the greatest rising of Chrism of the entire year, but also because we're being prepared for 2024, which is, and I'll do a video about 2024 and what the energy of 2024 is about, but 2024 is going to ask you, it's going to challenge you, and it's going to ask you to let go of an old identity, of a smallness, of a connection to the false matrix that right now is almost incomprehensible. Right now, if you were to look at it, the 2024 version of you, let's just imagine if we could timeline jump and we could go to, say, June, July of 2024, that version of you has undergone so much in those first 6 months. That version of you has let go of so much in those first 6 months. So December is asking you to just regroup, recalibrate. This is the month of the catapult. This is the month where you're going to feel like you're being pulled back, just like the video that I put up recently called, can I remember the name? Ascension. No, it's called Timeline Jump Preparation. Timeline Jump Preparation, the cosmic stop. Okay. And in that I talk about, towards the end of the video, I talk about how we're in this catapult. The feeling is like you're in a catapult and you're being pulled back, pulled back, pulled back. That's December. So if you feel like, some people describe it as being stuck in jelly or jello, whatever you want to call it. Other people say, I can't move forward. Other people say, I'm stuck. You're meant to be in pause mode right now. You're meant to be in connection to self like you've never before. Think what December does. December is all about spend my money on everybody else. Take care of me. Don't have time for that in December. So as you step out of the inverted matrix into the organic matrix, create space for you. Invest. Maybe all you can invest, maybe all you can afford to invest right now is your time. Then invest that wisely and invest it in you, and spend time in your stillness and spend time in connection to your heartbeat and feel your breath and feel the pulse that is your energetic field. So of the many things that December is asking you to do, connection is probably the loudest one. And that's going to feel like everything comes to a stop. Diamond light codes are coming in thick and fast this December, and it's been building probably since October, November already. We've had lots of diamond light energy, and here is the interesting thing about the diamond light energy. It started out like raindrops. So in other words, if I energetically could paint the picture for you of what it looked like as the diamond light codes came in, I would have said to you, it's like little raindrops, and each one of them is this little shimmery diamond. But now in December, the energy that was all these little shimmery diamonds is congealing, coming together and creating one mass resonance. And what that is our cosmic support. What that is love returning to the planet. What that is your cosmic self coming back online, and everything you were once disconnected from making itself available. There will be some people who are so attached to the false self, so attached to the memory, no matter how uncomfortable it was, to the memory of who they were, that they're going to fight to protect that. Don't be one of those people. So when you say to me, Kerry, I'm in the unknown. Oh my gosh, life is so out of control. I don't know who I am one day to the next. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to say to you, congratulations. You're doing beautifully. Join the Plasma Light Tribe, where I can meet with you and really support you at a level. I tell you what, every Friday call, it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper right now. So if you're able to join the Plasma Light Tribe, if you're able to support the people who can't afford joining the Plasma Light Tribe, I've got an amazing scholarship program. So you just go to my website and you click on the donate button, kerryk.com. At the very bottom, there's a donate button. Go there. And if you can donate $33, then what I do is I match that with my own $33. So we have two. From your one donation, we get two people onto the scholarship program. Scholarships are 30 days, and you can transform in 30 days. Hell, you can transform in one day. in a way that you can't quite imagine if you have the tools at your disposal. And that's what I want to give you. I want to give you as much as you need. I want to introduce you to abundance. I want to show you, oh my gosh, I asked for this much, but I got that much. I want to introduce you to the way of the universe, which is the way of love. It's the way of compassion. It's the way of stillness. It's the way of connection. And it's the way of your genuine, ultimate essence. Ooh, there's nothing sweeter than reconnecting with that from my heart all the way into yours. Oh, if you haven't watched the video that I mentioned about the timeline jump, the cosmic stop, there it is. I'll connect it for you over there. Check the video description box for more details. Lots of love, everyone, from my heart. All the way into yours.